and we don't do New Year's resolutions because the New Year's resolution should have been July 1st.
Right, right.
August 15th, September 2nd. Every day is a new day. I don't care if you messed up yesterday. Today is a new life.
That's right. So much. Amen to that. Well, let's get into it, man, because I know time is money, time is precious, and I never want to waste a man's time because I don't want to rob anybody of their joy. So how's everybody doing? Coach and Beyond with Coach Sagasta, Minutes with Coach. And today we have one of the greatest, and I mean this because this man has given me so much content, so much of his time to definitely engage at being great in life and definitely surrounding myself around greatness. And I am so privileged, and I mean this, I am so honored to call him a friend. Greg Walker, the big dreamer. You know what? The white hip hop preacher. you told me that a while back, man. It's stuck in my mind and it's never left since. And Greg, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you being on and definitely taking this time to engage with our followers on these platforms and definitely just unleashing some knowledge and information so consistent with who you are.
Thank you for having me on, Frank. Listen, I never call myself the Black Eric Thomas. People call me that. It's funny because my niece always said, "Hey, Uncle, you know what? Eric Thomas, he's the Black Big Dreamer."
I love it, man. I love that.
That's pretty fun. You know, I'm a little bit older than Eric, and we have the same situation. I came from a much worse background than Eric. Eric always tells people that his parents worked for GM and Ford. My parents might have robbed his parents at GM and Ford. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But no, thanks for having me on your show, brother. I'm always willing to help someone.
Awesome, man. So, I mean, right now, you got your book coming out. What is the date of your book coming out?
Man, it was supposed to be out December 7th, but I'm having some struggles with the name Dream and Grow Rich because I heard that the Napoleon Hill Institute might come after me, so I called them. The first guy said no problem. Then he called me back and said, you know what, our lawyer said it's too confusing. Now, they did not tell me I could not use it. They just said if your book, in other words, what they said was, if you're a flop, if your book doesn't sell, we don't care. But if it starts to sell, you know, we might have a problem with it. So my author in San Diego, I'm a ghostwriter. She says, Greg, I think you should use it. It's your story. It's your thing. But I'm always like, you know, the best way to win a fight is not to start a fight.
That's fact.
So it's called Dream and Grow Rich. So we might name it Dream with the Roman numerals, Dream to Grow Rich. That's all we're trying to wait on. I'm trying to decide if I want to start a fight or if I want to listen to my ghostwriter. She's written a lot of books. People will write thousands of books, but still, she's not the one who has to go to court with me.
Yeah. No, man, I stand with you by saying that, you know what, it is absolutely, I mean, looking at David and Goliath, man, David didn't go and pick the fight, Goliath did. He chose it. So, I mean, you know, David finished it. So, I mean, looking at this, man, I could definitely say that, you know what, sometimes it's better to follow the best advice, the best counsel that you have surrounding you. But, you know, I can't wait. And I know that the people on these platforms cannot wait to see your book and to get engaged with your principles and teachings for bettering their life. I know that for a fact, man.
Yeah, so right now it's called Dream and Grow Rich, how to dream proud and hustle your way to success. So it might be called Dream to Grow Rich with the Roman numeral. Either way, it's going to be that. It's done now. I'm waiting on a book from my author, and then we're going to talk about that. And, you know, I have Les Brown, the world's leading motivational speaker, who wrote the foreword to me. And I tell people, you know, I don't ask people to do stuff for me. I never asked Les Brown. He grabbed my arm, and he said, young man, why am I not writing that foreword to that book? I said, because I would never ask you. He said, I'm not asking you. You don't have to ask me. I'm asking you, can I write it for you? Because you are part of my legacy. I want to write this. Think about it, he's not even written a foreword for his son's book yet. His son's book is out. He didn't write the foreword, but he wrote the foreword for me, for my book. So I'm just amazed right now. On the back of the book, I got Jim Clemens, you know, the guy who coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal with Phil Jackson. He won his first NBA ring with Wilt Chamberlain. He's from my neighborhood. I got Professor Ruben Rod and Mark Menard, best-selling author. I got Jay Richardson as national championship ring at Ohio State. Played the NFL for 10 years. And I'm just blessed.
You talk about Mark Menard, the author of The Story of You?
Story of You, yeah. He lives about 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, I know, brother. I know. I'm just showing people. I'm showing everybody on the platform his book because I have 2 copies. of them in my library, and that's actually one of the books that I'll be finishing this year among the 65 that I have tentatively planned for this year. And so I'm waiting for your book, because once your book hits the stores, I'm getting that book and adding that to my library, adding that to the value of my children. And I can't wait to get engaged, man. That's one thing I always express with new authors is let me know when it drops. That way I can get one and add it to my library of greatness. And I want to leave those to my kids when I'm not here no more, you know?
That's right. If I'm looking at my bookshelf now, man, I get Napoleon Hill, one of the original copies from like the 60s. I'm looking at Les Brown, Who Moved My Cheese? Wealth is Worth It by Drew Cathy, who started Chick-fil-A. Steve Harvey, Act Like Success. Greatness of the Pioneer, E.T. Tony Robbins. I just got thousands of books, man. I know everyone this, Frank.
I love it, man.
Every millionaire I know has a library in their house.
Fact. That's an actual fact. For everybody watching, for everybody watching, what my man just exploded on is an absolute fact. Anybody that's in the Fortune 500 company understands that there is a principle, and the principle is 60 books a year. And Benjamin Franklin was so adamant. That's why Coach Sagasta was so strong this year at engaging in that. And I was just 5 short. But you know what? Next year, this year, I'm getting 65 books and I'm blowing him out of the water, because I'm in a race to beat Benjamin Franklin. You get what I'm saying? Plus, I'm in a race in itself, and so is Greg and many others that are watching. We're in a race to the death, man. So, I mean, why not go all in? Why not go all in? Am I right?
That's right. But the book, like I said, every millionaire I know has a library in their house. But it's the books that help them make those millions. They have the library, but it's the books that help them make those millions. Show me a broke person, a very broke person, I'll show you 0 books in their home.
I love it. You're right.
0 books.
You're absolutely right.
I'm childhood friends. Listen, I graduated 254th out of 255 people because my teacher and 3 other female teachers changed my grades a month before. So I can become the first person in my family history on either side to graduate high school.
Wow, that right there is intriguing. That just goes to show that you know what, you don't, that just, man, that's a fine example of, you know what, your persistence. Straight up, you have a push. Wow.
And here's the deal, Frank. I tell people the only dude that graduated below me, who graduated 455th, was a handicapped dude, right? And people usually laugh. I said, don't laugh, because I became a multi-millionaire, right? I don't have to get up and go to work. That handicapped dude who graduated 455th owns 24 national tire chains. Now, each chain costs about $2.3 million. Times that times 24, 25, and he's debt-free.
Wow. So, you know, for everybody that's on these social media platforms, understand that, you know what, this man, the big dreamer, had the biggest dream to own and be a entrepreneur, but also to be self-employed, have to work just himself and his family. And that's what he engaged in. It's one thing that I admire so much about this man is his love and desire and passion for his family. Aside from his businesses, that's where his true, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not going to get into everything, but I mean, he's expressed to me his true love, and he's showing me pictures and sent me pictures of his family. And I'm in awe. Like that really sincerely hits hard at home for me to see a man like this engaging in that and helping his family out like that, because that right there is like that's like diamonds for me. It's not even gold. It's not bronze. It's not silver. That's diamonds for me, because I didn't have that. So when I see that in a character like Greg Walker, that's true authenticity of character. So definitely, man, I appreciate you, Greg, so much, man, for doing that.
My family, because of my family life, I don't have any association with any of my brothers and sisters. I'm the only one ever. My father had 18 brothers and sisters. My mother has 16. I got 14. I'm the only one ever make it out in 9th grade. You know, the only millionaire my family ever met was me, and that's because they want money. And I help my family by buying homes, cars, trying to tell them. I give my brothers and sisters 2 things. I will always offer them free help to get off drugs and education.
Yeah.
Not one of them took me up. All they wanted was money. All my nieces and nephews wanted money. I raised my 15 siblings, 2 little girls who are now 16 and 11. I raised them since birth, off and on. It took me 9 years to get custody of them. Now I have them. And family life is important to me, because, listen, you can always make money. These people out there on social media talking about, I'm going to work 8 days a week. I ain't going to take no time off. You go ahead and do that. Because I know a lot of millionaires, I'm talking about people worth $50 to $100 million, who died on their deathbed and they didn't know the name of the schools of their kids went to. Listen, my first mentor was a man named Dave Thomas, who started a chain of Wendy's, right? My teacher, Mrs. Rivers, who saved me, brought him into my class, and then 7th grade. And I didn't know who this dude was. I called him a fool. I called him a loser, right? Because this dude came in my school, and he was talking to my class, and I looked at him, and he said, young man, there's something wrong? Because I had a chip on my shoulder in 7th grade. You know, I'm 6'1". I was probably about 197 pounds then. I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, I'm the white dude with a hoodie on, you know, back in the day.
Right.
And he says, young man, is there something I'm saying wrong with you? And I said, listen, we're just tired of you white guys coming in here telling us what we can do and what we can't do. And my buddy Charlie, who I just celebrated his 50th birthday, he looked at me and says, Greg, you do know you're the only white dude in the class, right? So I said, yeah. So he looked at me and said, young man, he says, I know your story. I know about you. He said, where do you think I went to college at? I said, I don't know, probably California, New York, somewhere. He said, what if I told you I dropped out in 9th grade? I said, well, if you're a loser like my family, then what are you doing here? Like, he said, respect this man. Respect him. I said, Mrs. Rip, he dropped out in 9th grade. He's like my family. He's like my family. He's a loser. Why is he here? And so I spoke out then.
Yeah.
And she said, you will respect this man. You looked at him and he said, young man, he said, I dropped out in 9th grade. I was an orphan. He said, I worked for this guy who drove a white Cadillac around for 23 years with a white suit and a white beard. I said, I ain't never heard of him. He said, yes, you have, Greg. His name is Harlan Sanders. You have Kentucky Fried Chickens all around Columbus, Ohio. I said, you work for him? He said, yes, sir. He said, I work for him as a dishwasher, assistant manager, and a district manager. He said, we're in Indiana. He says, I have these 11 underperforming stores in Columbus, Ohio. I didn't know. He didn't explain to us what underperforming was back then. He said, Harlan told me, if I go there and turn them around, I'll give you one store. He said, I went to Columbus, Ohio. I worked so hard. I couldn't go to school plays. My kids didn't know where they went to school at. He said, I turned around so much, Harlan Sanders gave me all 11. Yeah. Then I have a daughter named Melinda, and she has pigtails with reddish hair. And he said, I thought I could invent a better hamburger. I don't like milkshakes, so I wanted a thicker milkshake because I don't like milkshakes. I like ice cream. He said, so I started a company right around the corner from where I'm at this school, and it's called Wendy's, and my name is Dave Thomas. Now, I didn't realize how big of a thing that was back in 1978, 79. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that until I got out of high school. Is when I realized how big of a deal that was. So what he said was, and that's what I tell people, opportunities come to everybody. Every day I believe opportunities come, but who will reach their hand out? The only people when the Titanic sunk that got saved were the people who reached their hands out. The rest had to float on the way. So he said, if everyone was coming to this class every Saturday for once a month on a Saturday, someone from my team, it might even be me sometime, I will mentor you. I would teach you about life, not just business, about life. So right, there's 25 kids in there. Only 3 of us took the opportunity.
Wow.
Only 3. And I was just there because I didn't have anything else to do. I didn't want to be at my house. I really didn't care about coming and seeing this dude named Dave Thomas to start a hamburger chain. I just wanted some free hamburgers, some free fries or something. And occasionally they'd bring those around. But listen, I became a restaurateur. My friend Lakeisha, right? She had 3 babies in the 11th grade. She owns 6 dental practices now. And my buddy Keith, who has a big-time law firm in Atlanta. See, 25 people, opportunities came once a month, but only 3 of us took it up. And I just wanted to be there hoping to get some free fries or something. I wasn't really there. I didn't know better. I wasn't really there for the information. I just wanted some free fries because I have 14 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. And look what I got.
I definitely and for those people that are watching in and listening, is I always express this: the greatest form of communication is listening. And that's exactly what applied for Greg Walker, the big dreamer, and along with his affiliates, his friends, his closest friends. Those are facts that Dave listened in and honed in on what the information was to change the situation in life, because there was no way on God's green earth that he want to end up like the rest of his family. And I respect that so heartily. He don't need me to affirm that. He's already done that. But he's built himself an empire, not just for himself, but for his family, to leave back a legacy of information, as Mr. Les Brown himself expressed to him, that it's not what we leave them, but what we leave in them that really, truly matters. And I love that, brother.
No, that's right. You know, people always asking, what am I leaving my daughter? What am I leaving my niece? I said, it doesn't matter what. I can leave millions of dollars. They can squander. But if I teach them, if I give them the blueprint, how their father, how their uncle made it out. Listen, see, I I don't believe that teach a man how to fish and he'll eat the rest of his life. I believe in teaching him how to buy all the equipment to fish, to teach him how to buy the pond, the ocean, and then he will not only eat the rest of his life, his grandchildren will eat the rest of their life.
That's right. That's right.
So I believe in teaching generational wealth. And one way you build generational wealth is with life insurance.
Yes.
People don't understand that. If I died right now, my daughter and my nieces have to sell 3/4 of my businesses just so they can keep a little bit because of death tax. Now, life insurance, you leave someone 500,000, $1 million, they get that. There's no tax. There's no tax. But you also have to build that legacy, that blueprint of understanding money.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, anybody can make $1 million, but a few only keep that $1 million.
And you just brought me up to a great point. I'm glad you brought it up because in my life, I went to, for those that don't know, Robert Kiyosaki is probably the only one that I've found today, and following him for 1.5 years now, and have been to 2 of his seminars. He has engaged so much about financial education. And what you just talked about is absolutely true. You can get the money back from your insurance, but what you do with it after there is truly dependent on your education, and not the education that I'm talking that most people automatically assume of. I'm talking about true financial education, because without true financial education, you can never truly be successful. And that is absolutely true.
That's right. Look at the athletes. Look at the athletes who get millions of dollars. Where are they at 5 years ago?
Yep. Yeah.
Right? The average NFL player is broke 3.5 years after he gets out of the NFL.
And we'll have 2 former NFL players join us later on this week, if not next week, with time permitting. We'll have 2 former NFL players, 1 Super Bowl champion, and I can't wait to engage with them. But right now, let's get into the questions, brother. Let's get into the questions. So, question number 1: what brings Greg Walker, the big dreamer, absolute happiness, brother?
Being alive with my family, brother. Being
Love
alive.
it.
Because listen, I visit my buddy Herbert every day, who lost his leg at 68 years old. He gave up on life. His brother's my best friend. He gave up on life because he lost his leg to diabetes. He would not eat for 4 months. He dropped weight from 367 to 135. He's gonna live. Now they said, Greg, big dreamer, can you come in? Can you inspire my brother to eat again? I went in, the doctor said he ain't going to eat. He ain't going to eat. He's just stubborn. He's just going to lay there and die. Looked at me, couldn't even lift himself up. So people always say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I say, but if you teach them why they need to drink, then they will drink. So what I had to do was teach them why he wanted to live. So first thing my wife and I did was we made all these motivational quotes with Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Muhammad Ali, whoever it was, and put them all around his TV. And I made him recite those every single day. 5 weeks later, I've been working with him. He's gained 41 pounds.
Ooh.
He couldn't lift his head up to get the pillows. Now he pulls himself up because I gave him a reason why he wants to live, why he has 4 sores on his leg when they took it off. He has to heal up before they can fit the prosthetic limb on him. 2 of them are healed up now. He was there for 6 months. People said he's not going to eat. He's just going to die. He's gained 41 pounds. 2 of his 4 wounds are healed up. He can lift himself up to put his own pillow behind his head. So when you give a person, and his why was, he had a son down in Alabama that he wanted to see. He had a granddaughter that taught him, you've never seen her. She's 8 years old. That's your blood, man. You got to see her. Now he wants to get up out of there. I gave him a reason why he wants to live. So when I leave that nursing home, I see people my age, 50, 51, 40. There's a brother in there that I talked to in the same bed next to my buddy Herbert. I thought he was like 60-some years old, and he had said, brother, he said, I lost my legs and I lost my arm. Can you help me pull my shirt off from the house? I said, sure, brother, I'll help you pull the shirt off.
Yeah.
He was cool and stuff. I noticed he had all these operations. I asked him, I said, what happened to your legs? Has diabetes? He said, no, brother. He said, I was running the streets. I was a drug addict or whatever. I thought he was like 60-some years old. He was only like 49.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
The next day I come back in, his bed is empty. I said, where's Steven at? My buddy Herbert said, he passed away, Greg. He passed away. So when I leave that nursing home, I tell people, if you want to complain about your bills or whatever little things, go to a nursing home or hospital. Yeah. Spend a couple hours there and leave there and tell me you still worry about your little bills.
Yeah.
Because as long as you have your health, as long as we're alive, we have not seen our best. Our best is yet to come. So as long as we're alive, the people in that nursing home, they're done. Most of those people are there for the rest of their life. They can never do what they wanted to do before they got in that hospital. Yeah. If we are alive, we have every opportunity to do what we listen, if I want to become a doctor, all I got to do is go find a doctor and say, how do you become a doctor? And I can follow his steps. Right? Yep. Someone asked me, what is the key to success? I marathon runner, I go to a running store and say, hey, can you connect me with a marathon runner? If you want to open a business, all you have to do is ask Greg Walker, Big Dreamer, how do you buy a franchise? It really is that easy. Now, the process going through it could be hard, but it really is that easy to get into anything.
I love it.
So life is what, right now I can go do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'm not in that nursing home. Right now, I was walking in the rain, Frank, 2 weeks ago after leaving my buddy Herbert. I went in to buy some groceries for my wife. It's raining. I'm walking out and I see people huddling over, complaining about the rain. They're going to get wet, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought, you know what? I looked at the rain, looked at the parking lot, because I always park at the last very spot so I can get my walk in. I said, you know what? There's someone looking out the window right now at the Ohio State University dying of cancer saying, I would love to just walk in the rain.
Yep.
So I just walked out there. I'm smiling, people looking at me like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm just enjoying the rain. I'm going home. I ain't going to no wedding or nothing. I'm just walking in the rain because I know someone right now. And I spent my time in the hospital where I almost lost my leg. And one day I almost lost my leg. I lost part of my foot because I'm a lifelong diabetic. I was told I was going to lose my leg by my doctor, but I only lost a part of my foot. So I understand how valuable life is, how short life can be. I had a brother who died at 41. I understand how life can be. And when people complain about their menial problems, really, when you complain about you don't have the $240 pair of LeBrons, think of someone your age who has no feet.
That's right.
So I love life, man. I love life.
I love
family,
that.
my friends. I said it's not the cars I have. It's not the house, because that stuff can all go away. But when you're dying on your deathbed, listen, I don't need thousands of people coming to my funeral. I need people who are wiping their eyes because I affected them.
I love that.
That's what I want.
That's true harmony, man. I really appreciate that, because that's absolutely like the creed of our company is empowering tomorrow's leaders, because we lack that in today's generation, and we'll get into that here shortly. All right. So the question number 2: how do you feel about today's education? And this could be the realm, an element of where your niece and nephews are at, your kids are at, or even the collegiate level. What do you feel about today's education? Are we empowering today's education, or are we kind of dismaying little by little the true nature of what we need to have for today's society?
Well, I think the education system is changing. Like I was speaking Wednesday to about 2,000 kids. And the schools change because now they have all these motivational quotes. They let kids do things on the walls. But they're still not teaching real world education. What you do in school and what you get out of school are two different things. A guy wrote a book one time called Things that the Harvard School of Business Did Not Teach Me. He got an MBA from Harvard Business School. Once he got out, they didn't teach him anything in the real world. Things work great on paper, but like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face.
I just said that yesterday. Right? Yep.
So the school system really, they're teaching the old-fashioned way. They're still teaching. Why do we need? I spoke at Ashland University with Urban Meyer, who's a football coach at Ohio State. He has a thing called Team Focus, and I said, why are we teaching things like? Why do I need to learn who the third president of the United States is? When the professor said, Mr. Walker, I think you're wrong talking about education. I said, listen, I hated school, but I love learning. I read sometimes 2-3 books a week. I just hated the 4 walls. And she said, well, we need to keep those things. I said, listen, when I see someone get out of high school and college, they know nothing about money, nothing about finances. There's a problem there. I said, you can ask me anything right now, and I can tell you right now what it is. She said, okay, you don't think we need to learn about the president? Who's the third president? I said, you want to know the third president? I'll tell you who ran against that person. Even who ran against that person ran against that person, if you like. I can tell you who's in Congress at that time. She said, I thought you didn't like that. I said, just ask me. She asked me. I held my phone up. I said, Siri, please tell me who was the third president of the United States and their running mate. I said, see, if you think the future of these 4 walls with all the online schooling, no. My niece Casey is in online school, right? ECOT, electric classroom tomorrow. The country's largest K-12 online schooling.
Wow.
That's where a lot of people are going to. If you look at online colleges, most people get their MBAs, don't get them at the school, they get them online.
I agree.
So they're still teaching the old-fashioned way. Like Robert Kiyosaki said, they teach us nothing about finance in school.
That's it.
Nothing. And why do most people get divorced? Finance. Why do a lot of people commit suicide? For finance.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not one of those people that says money doesn't matter, because I've seen dudes living underneath the bridge.
I so wholeheartedly agree with you, brother. Totally.
I told people the best way they're going to learn, have some book skills, Because you do need to learn how to read. And listen, people ask me, they laugh at me, Frankie, because I tell them, they think I'm so smart. I tell them, if you ask me a fraction right now, I would not know how to tell you how to do a fraction. I know nothing about fractions, right? Because I didn't really need to know how to do fractions. All I needed was the basic math. You know, I want to learn percentages. When a kid goes in and buys a pair of shoes, he has to know how much 33% off is $124. When a girl buys that Louis Vuitton, she wants to know how to do 15% off that $1,800 purse, right? So I tell people, listen, when I was in elementary school, Jesse Owens' kids came up with his wife, and they're telling a story. And they asked Jesse Owens when he won his 4th gold medal in Berlin and the Olympics, they said, how do you run, Mr. Owens, against the person on the left and the right? He said, I don't understand you. They said, let me say it louder then. How do you run against the person on your left and right? He said, I still don't understand you. And the guy said, are all Negroes in America that ignorant? You don't understand the question? He said, no, you don't understand. When Jesse Owens runs, there's no one to the left or right of me. Jesse Owens runs his own race. Jesse Owens runs against Jesse Owens. So I tell people, I'm not embarrassed that I don't know how to do fractions, because fractions didn't make me any money.
Mm-hmm.
I have a talent for that. I learned basic math, and that's all you really know. The basics will get you what you need.
True.
Right? The basics. Listen, someone can be sweet at basketball, dunking, dribbling around, right? But the dudes who know the basics, the Magic Johnsons,
yep.
the Larry Birds,
yep.
the Michael Jordans, they do the basics, right? All of that stuff, it sounds like a drummer. I played drums all my life. You can sit there and play all this fancy stuff, right? But when you play in music, it's basically just boom, bop, boom, bop.
Really?
It's the basics.
Yep.
Everything in life is the basics. If you master the basics, you will master your life. So I learned to run my own race and stay in my own lane. I'm not afraid to say I can't do everything. I used to be.
Yeah.
Listen, my wife builds stuff. I bought some tools. And one of my friends says, dude, you build something? My niece said, you know our uncle can't build nothing. It's like, no, your uncle's going to build something. He's a big dude. I said, listen, I hold up a hammer in one hand and a saw in the other. And I asked my wife, which one do I drill with? Which one? I got a hammer and a saw. Which one do I drill with? I'm comfortable with saying I can't do everything, right?
Right.
I'm comfortable saying I can't do everything because I do things right.
I love it.
I do things that I can do right, and I let other people do what they have to do. And I think when people can understand that and admit, you don't have to know how to do everything. You don't have to know how to do everything. Listen, someone might not hit a lot of home runs in baseball, but they might be Pete Rose and get 3,000 at bats, right? You don't have to be good at everything.
Very true.
So I think the education system, at least when I grew up, and I think it still is a lot of city league schools where I grew up at, they're still teaching the same. Frank, listen, in 1984 when I graduated, our book said one day man will walk on the moon. 1984. Our books were that dated.
That's crazy.
So when you look, people say there's no difference between the poor schools and the rich schools. Yes, there are.
Yes, there is.
When you see a school like my daughter went to a private school all of her life, private Christian school. When you see a school that costs $11,000 a year for a kindergarten, compared to a city league school where they don't have no air conditioning, you know, they have books that are 30 years old. Dude, that's a huge difference. Huge. So I think our education system is still broken, like Robert Kiyosaki says, but they're changing.
Yeah.
They're getting better. And I tell people, and it really is true, if you can move, like where Mark Bernard lives at, I know people who are moving from their houses to go buy apartments because they can't afford to live there, but they want their kids to go to school there.
Wow. that speaks a lot right there, man. You know, one of my
friends just did it. One of my friends can't afford a house over there, so he bought an apartment, right? He said, we're going to sacrifice and let our son and daughter go to school in New Albany, where Mark lives at.
Wow.
And that's true standard. See, that's what foreign people, that's why I love foreigners when they come over, they will sacrifice for their kids.
Yeah.
You know, people back in the 40s and 50s, they sacrificed for the kids. Nowadays, they no one sacrifices for their kids. People say, why'd you spend all that money on your daughter? Because I wanted her to get the best education.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to sacrifice who I am for who I want to become or who my children want to become. Because I'm not building just a big house for me. I'm building a legacy for my niece and nephews.
That's right.
So they can see we have a new generation now. The new Walker name, the new generation, the new legacy. And it started with me, and they're carrying it on right now. So I do think the school system is broken, but they are changing.
And you know what? Gradually they are, man. You know, and going back to our earlier conversation is, I remember being in education as an educator that they started putting up different quotes on the wall. In fact, we spoke a months back in 2016. I expressed like one of if anybody's been following me long enough, they can go to my Facebook and some of my other social media platforms. But like I had pictures of my office and I had quotes from Les Brown, everybody, all in my office. And from the ceiling to the side, the only place I didn't write was on the floor. But I'm expressing like it was a reason, but I was also applying those quotes to my life. There's a difference, and that's exactly what Greg Walker is talking about is applying it to your life. You can write them all over you want. You can write them anywhere. But if they're not written on the table of your heart, the table of your mind and soul, then you will never understand the true meaning of that. And that's one thing that I so heartily describe as I continue in my endeavor in writing my books, is to push that into the greatest interest. That way people will understand it. And one thing that I'll come back to what Greg was talking about the education in today's educators is, you know, it's a known fact that some of the brightest individuals, and I'm just going to point out one, but Albert Einstein, when they weighed his brain, it was 2 pounds 7 ounces shy of the average individual. And that says something, because the average individual is a little bit higher. So I'm like, you know what? There's 10%. That's 10% lower than the average. But yet he was the smartest man to exist, one of the smartest men to ever exist. Wouldn't you agree, Greg?
Oh, yes. And it goes to show that, you know what, you can have a smaller brain, but you can still outwork people, right?
That's a fact. Boom.
Albert Einstein didn't do well in algebra.
Yep.
But look what he did.
Exactly. Physics.
Because I hate when people say information is power. No, it's not. Applied information.
Boom! Oh my goodness, man! Oh my goodness!
You can say that you're the greatest skateboarder in the world, right? You can read all the books about skateboarding, but until you get up on that skateboard, you start pushing yourself. That's when you'll truly be successful. Another great diamond. Yo, my man is full of diamonds. That's why I surrounded myself around the greats. That's all I want to do, is surround myself around the greats. And that's exactly what Mr. Greg Walker did, the big dreamer. And that's exactly what he's continuously doing. And that's what I love about the man. All right, man, let's get into question number 4, man. Question number 4. What are 3 key traits for a successful business today? 3 successful traits. I'm sorry, what was that, Frank?
Three keys. It could be anything, brother.
That makes a successful business?
That's right.
You gotta love what you do. You really gotta love what you do. Like, you can say you want to be in the restaurant business because it makes a lot of money, the apparel business. I know people, a friend who started a big apparel business, and he folded a couple of years because he just wanted to be in it for the money. So I tell people, one of the keys is you gotta love what you do. You gotta love what you do. And then you have to empower people to make decisions. Listen, people say you can't buy time. I've bought my time for the past 11 years. I don't have to get up and go to work in the morning. So you have to surround yourself. You have to mold people who are like you. If you can mold people like you, they're not going to be exactly like you. But if you can put your blueprint in them, then you can go out and do other things. So you have to love what you do. You have to surround yourself with people, hire people that want to be like you. Now, you're not going to reach everybody. You're not supposed to reach everybody. But if you can build a team, you can do that. Now you're buying your time. And lastly, you just have to learn. You just learn how to learn about the finance part. You never borrow yourself the wealth.
Never. I love that. I love those 3. I'm serious. I really do admire those 3. And you're the 3rd person on in this month that spoke about that love being number 1. Such a passion into you, whatever your drive is, whatever your desire is, because you have to have a desire on something, and it's got to be backed by that love. I really respect that wholeheartedly. All right. So question number 5, man. Question number 5. What is your why for the big dreamer? What is your why in life?
My daughter.
Ooh.
My daughter. You know, I used to have to pick worms to sell to Asian bait stores so I could buy food, right? I had to do it. My brother and sisters pouring down rain, and we had to do that. And in my book, I talk about, you know, that's where I became in love with entrepreneurship, because, you know, my father was always divorced from my mother. They divorced when I was younger. He would always come in at one certain amount of money, right? So he'd expect $8 from each person. It was like $2, $4 a can. So my brothers and sisters would be out getting high, getting drunk, just picking like 3, 4 cans. I'd pick 20, 30, 40 cans. Wow. And what I would do, see, my father was stupid, right? He was stupid. He was expecting $8. I gave him his crack at $8, and now put the rest in my back pocket. That's where I fell into entrepreneurship. I thought, wow, if I could work harder, I could make more money.
Yeah.
And I had money like that. And then I wanted to make sure when my daughter was born, she would never have to pick another worm in her life. I couldn't eat gummy worms for the longest time, Frank. I couldn't even pick up a bag of gummy worms. I couldn't. It's probably when my daughter's probably like maybe, I don't know, 10, 11 years old. She says, Daddy, these aren't real worms. These are gummy worms. They're candy.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, man.
It don't matter, right?
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Listen, my wife, who I've known most of my life, she loves fishing. I refuse to put a worm on a hook. I refuse. Because I picked worms so much in my life. So my daughter was my why. My daughter was my wife. She's the reason. Listen, people talk about how they're grinding, they're hustling, and all do that. Someone asked me when I was speaking to the PPA, Professional Photographer Association in Detroit, Michigan. Someone said, "Big dreamer, I'm gonna blow up, man. I'm gonna be bigger than you. I'm gonna be bigger than you, quicker than you. I'm gonna be more. I'm gonna make my million before you." I said, "Young man, how many hours you working?" He said, "I put in 55." I said, "Didn't you hear where I slept in my first Subway restaurant for 4 years?"
Yeah.
You did not hear that?
Yeah.
You working 55 hours? Really? What are you doing on the weekends? What are you doing at nighttime? I work from open to close, man. 7 days a week, 4 weeks a month, 12 months out of the year for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You ain't about to blow up and kill nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You're on cruise control.
Yeah. Ooh.
You're on cruise control. You ain't doing nothing. That's why I tell all these people that talk about they're gonna blow up. You ain't blowing up. The people who's blowing up ain't saying nothing.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Straight up.
Not
Straight.
saying nothing.
Amen. They
right
just
now,
grinding.
Frank, people see me. I went to school with. They're like, dude, I didn't know you was doing the restaurant business. That's because I wasn't out talking. I was working. People tell me, Greg, I ain't heard you on Periscope in a long time. You were #1 motivator. I ain't heard you long. I think I'm out there speaking. I'm out there speaking. I'm doing it. If you're around talking so much, you're not doing it.
Amen. Amen.
You're not doing it. So less talking and start with more walking.
Straight validation for those who are paying attention. Yo, I expressed this early in our conversation, in our interview, that the greatest form of communication is listening, and he just dropped another diamond on you, is stop talking. Basically, I expressed this to a young man the other day. I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it to you straight like this: shut up and listen. I said, because if there's anything that I've done in the 17 years, but in the 7-year promise to myself, was to definitely listen in and really truly convey real information that changed my situation and changed my life and get me into the right momentum and the right direction for life. And what you just said right now was a strong validation in that for a lot of people, that you need to definitely pay attention. As he said cruise control. I put it in neutral. Like, I see people putting it in neutral, like, or just sitting there just idling. You cannot idle in life. You have to find the effort to put in the driving seat for the push, to get past perseverance in life, and just keep on going in that direction, in that momentum. You know, all right, man. So let's get into this next question, man, because I know we got to get, time is getting a crunch. So next question is, if you could share one dream with one person, who would it be? It's a two-part question. Who would it be and why?
If I could share a dream with someone?
That's right.
If I could share a dream with someone and why, I would probably have to say my brother who died at 42 because he never lived his life. He was an alcoholic. He was a drug dealer, and he died at 42. And I would tell him, listen, brother, you have everything that I have. You have my same blood. We came from the same sperm donor. Why are you doing this to yourself? There's much more in your life than what you're doing now. You are a businessman because you're dealing with drugs. You're taking a risk. You're dealing with money. You're learning how to deal with money. You are a businessman just like me. So it would be my brother, and that's why I would do it.
What you just said gave me goosebumps, and I showed the people that are watching, because having a brother that committed suicide here on the banks of the Colorado River, I could definitely attest with you on that one, because I could only wish to go back and help my brother through his depression, through his drug addiction, and show the wonderful life that I see my nephews growing into being just wise men and great family men. One's in Ohio up there with you, the other one's in Tennessee, and just seeing the greatness out of them. I mean, one's a lineman, the other's and he's got his own business, and I'm just like, you know, I wish that my brother could absolutely go back. We could go back and I could help him in that area, man, because as I said, almost 87%, Greg, in America, man, are suffering with depression. And there's no true the medical physicians and psychologists are trying to help people out, and sometimes it's not enough because there's so many people out there with high demand. So that's where you and I, and among many of our peers, are trying to truly help people get from point A to point B in their life and to remove that from their life. So, man, I appreciate that, brother, because that really hit home for me today. That really hit home. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and other people, if there's someone else I could talk to, it would be the world.
Yeah.
Because so many people, we know, my father-in-law, he says, Gregory, I could have bought some McDonald's, I could have bought some Subways years ago. And I said, how many did you buy? Gregory, that land that you paid $175,000 for 3 or 5 acres, I could have bought that for 200. How many acres did you buy? None. So all he talks about is what I could have done, what I should have done. You know, my niece Savannah always speaks with people, and she hears older people say should. She says, my uncle said you shouldn't say should so much because what you're going to do is you're going to should all over yourself.
I'm sorry, man. Yo, that's excellent. That's excellent.
They should all over themselves. I should have done this. I should do this. So if I could talk to someone about a dream, I would tell them why. I make my nieces frank every time there's a funeral progression. And we pull over for respect, but I pull over and I say, look at that. Look at that funeral. You girls got your black belt at 9 and 11. How many of the people in that funeral want to go get their black belt right now?
Yeah.
Maybe that person in that hearse wanted to go study Taekwondo or Kung Fu, but they never did it. So they're dying with their dreams.
Right.
So I want to make sure that many people I can contact with, I speak to those 2,000 kids Wednesday, I'm going to tell them to go for every vision, goal, and dream you can, because who cares if you fail? It's better to reach it, try to do 1,000 goals or dreams and fail than not to reach one.
That's right.
And I tell people it's never too late. And I tell the story about my friend who we went to high school together. She should have been the class valedictorian. She should have been a class valedictorian, but she had 3 kids in the 10th grade. Ran track, phenomenal track athlete. She dropped out of high school.
Wow.
At 39 years old, I get a call from her husband. Said, bro, you need to come over and talk to your sister, man. She's something going on. I'm ready to call the ambulance. I get all the way over there. I'm thinking she's having a heart attack. I see her on the floor. Just stops coming down her nose. She's just crying, sitting next to the toilet. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? She says, you know what's going on? I'm working at a warehouse at 39 years old, and my life is over. I said, that's why you brought me here?
Yeah.
You brought me here. She says, great stuff, but I'm not the big dreamer like you. I said, be damn right you're not. I graduated 454th out of 455. You were supposed to be our class valedictorian. I said, get up, wipe your snot off your nose, put your big girl panties on. What do you want to do? She said, you know what I want to do? I want to be a teacher. I said, okay. All you have to do is go get your GED.
Yeah.
Go to community college, right? Go to community college. She didn't do it 39. She didn't do it 40. Didn't do it 41.
What?
At 41 and a half, she goes get her GED, right? She goes to community college. In 2017, she's not a teacher. She's a principal.
That's phenomenal story.
She's a principal.
Wow.
So I tell people, it's never too late. It's never too late. It's better, like the Japanese says, it's better to live one day in your dream than to never.
That's right.
To never. And I tell people, use the term Kaizen. I learned that from the Honda Corporation.
Yeah.
They use the word Kaizen to improve a little bit every single day. Improve just something, even if it's one little inch. Even if it's a little bit, it doesn't have to be massive. See, everyone in America talks about massiveness.
Yeah.
Massiveness. It's not massive action. It's just action.
That's it.
It's not massive improvement. It's a little bit of improvement. We didn't come out of a woman's womb and start running, did we? No, that's massive. We came out crawling. And then we fell down. And someone picked us up. We picked our own self up. So this word massive, I think it's overused. You just have to make some type of improvement. And you make a baby step, and then you start jogging, and then you start running, and then you start jumping up, doing that parkour stuff, flipping off the wall. So yes, that would be one of my things is to teach people, to get out of there, to not just live a life of existence, to think you just have to go to school, college, work at a cubicle for 30, 40 years, and then say, where was my life?
Right.
I want people to understand, listen, we have a park here called Kings Island, Cincinnati. So I hear people say, man, I never got to go to Paris. I said, go to Kings Island. There's an Eiffel Tower there that's a third the size.
Yeah.
Go there and have some cheese sticks or something. Take some wine. If you can't afford to go to Paris, go to Kings Island. It's a replica, a third the size.
Right.
Don't do that. There's some way you can live your dream.
That's it.
Some way. And that's what I tell people. It's sad that people work in a cubicle or a factory all their life, and they get to the end, they're like, wow, what did I do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did I do?
There's absolutely a lot of people that are stuck in that realm, and it is truly unfortunate. But until you absolutely break free from that area, as Stacey A. Cross always says, being a comfort killer and breaking out of that comfort, then you would definitely engage into something that you truly are passionate about, and you'll start driving towards there. I want to go back to what you said earlier, but using the word cousin, and it's something that I branded my life around. When I first found it, and I made a promise in 2015 to definitely engage in it, and it to be my talent, and the life stem of who I am is a continuous improvement. It's a continuous improvement, and it doesn't stop. It's just like I expressed earlier, that knowledge has a beginning but never an end. So I mean, it's the same aspect as your life. As you're continuously improving in your life, day in and day out, because you're watering it. And when you stop watering it, as Albert Einstein, you start dying. I'm serious.
Isn't that funny, Frank? People will never miss an oil change. They will water their flowers, water their lawn, but they will not water their dreams. They will not water their mind by reading, by listening to the audio tapes. They will take care of more of their car and their lawn than they will their life.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, the time's crunching down. I know we got to get, so here's our last question as we get out of here for everybody on these platforms is right now, what is your mission statement as we're already 363 days left of 2016? What is your mission statement for the rest of this year, brother?
My mission statement for my whole life is just live a life with integrity, with character, uplift, elevate everyone that I meet, everyone. And my wife can tell you, they hate when they go to the grocery store with me because they know I'm elevating the clerk there. My nieces hate going places with me because they know their uncle's going to inspire someone. Listen, I'm not going to leave this earth without trying to inspire someone.
That's right.
I'm not, and that's my mission all of the rest of my life is to inspire people, to uplift them, to elevate them, let them know that they can be something. When I see the kids, I didn't realize I helped. My wife told me that I helped them by just speaking to them.
Yep.
That makes me feel like $1 million. So to live with integrity, with character, to uplift people. It made me happy when I could make Mark Menard's dream and Joe Bodge's dream come true by bringing them to lunch with Les Brown.
Yeah.
Shane, our buddy Shane, he gives me so much props for saying, that Greg made my dream come true by introducing me to Les Brown and talking to him.
Right.
I just got Grant Cardone. I ain't got no thank you yet, but I got Grant Cardone, Les Brown. If you look at Grant Cardone, he's showing about Les Brown being there. Well, he was on. I watched him on Facebook Live. He said, "We can't. Who's that black guy? The black guy who speaks and someone says, "God, that's Les Brown." Yeah, we're trying to get him. We can't reach him. My buddy Ken Walls said, "Hey, bro," he says, "Man, if you can get Les Brown, man, you'll be speaking on that stage."
Yeah. I
called Les Brown. And I got the voice message. Les says, "I don't know who Grant Cardone is." I said, "Well, they're trying to reach you." I said, "Can I give me your number?" He said, "Sure, give me a number." I got Grant Cardone and Les Brown, and that's the first thing. I ain't got to thank you yet.
But it's not about that, right?
Yeah, no, it's not about that. But they should. See, that's a life of character because when you tell someone that you're trying to help people, all you want to do is serve people. Come on, pick up a phone and say thanks, bro.
I totally agree. I wholeheartedly agree with you 120 because what I always express with a lot of people is not just what Martin Luther King said. He said one of the most persistent and urgent questions should always be asked is, what have I done for others? But it also goes into the same essence as the greatest commandment is love thy neighbor as thyself. And so, I mean, it is so true, man. You're absolutely right. Integrity and character is got to be at a high, man. Absolute high. I love that, man. I love it.
Because what do we see? We see a lot of athletes get to the top of the game, right?
Yes, sir.
But their character drops them down.
Yes, sir.
The character drops them off the ladder. And there's a lot of people who don't have character in America anymore. They don't because it's all about me. So I tell people, have integrity. Integrity is doing things right when no one's watching, and have character.
Yes.
So be nice to people. Be nice to people. Spread joy. Open the door for someone. When you see an old couple that has to put their medication back, they don't have enough money to buy groceries, say, "Hey, can I give you $16 to buy that medication?"
Yeah.
I
love it.
Help people out. Help people. That's what life is about. Listen, I forget who it was. I think it was Frederick Douglass. I think it said, "We are happiest when we are serving other people.
That's right. I love it. You're right.
That's why when I come back from a meeting or speaking, my wife's like, Dad, you're always on such a high when you leave someplace like that. It's because I'm helping other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly true, brother. Well, listen, it's been an honor and a privilege, and I hope everybody to follow. Please, Mr. Walker, the Big Dreamer, Greg, please express, where can people find you at, bro?
They can find me anywhere at Greg Inspires. They can go to my website, greginspires.com. And when my book comes out, they'll be able to get on Kindle on the very first day for 99 cents before it goes to Barnes Noble. Then they'll be able to get the paperback for $25 and the hardcover with the dust jacket for $29.99 at Barnes Noble. But they'll be able to get on the first day if they go sign up on my website, greginspires.com. It'll pop up. Just leave your email information, and you'll get notifications. Then you'll be able to get it for 99 cents. And I'm giving some cool gifts away. I'm giving some really cool gifts away. I'm talking like a projector, brand new old iPhones in the cases. So I'm giving. So listen, Gary Vee made about $8 billion after people buy his book.
Yeah.
Right? He ain't giving away nothing. I'm giving away $800 little projectors for just the ebook. Right? So I'm giving because I believe if someone's going to help me, I got to help them back.
That's right.
So go to greginspires.com, greginspires.com, leave your info, get my book and I said on Kindle on the very first day to help me reach that #1 spot. And then everywhere else they can follow me at Greg Inspires, except for Periscope at The Big Dreamer. So Periscope at The Big Dreamer, everywhere else, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Greg Inspires.
Google the name, the Big Dreamer. Google the name and you'll find my man. I promise you that he's everywhere. Yo, I appreciate you, brother. Have a great and beautiful day. My regards to the family and safe travels today, man. I love you. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Frank. Let me tell everyone one thing real quick.
Absolutely.
Listen, we are all too big to dream small. We are all too big to dream small. Why dream small when big is available? And here's one last nugget. If you're stuck on a lollipop called average, you will probably always suck because average people never change.
Straight up, man. Diamond Farm, a diamond farm, man. When I talk about the acres of diamonds, my brother's got the acres of diamonds. I appreciate you, brother. Many blessings in regards to the family. Take care.
Thanks, brother. Blessings.
So there you have it. Greg Walker, you know what? Hey, millionaire, entrepreneur, author, and husband and father and love, man. I appreciate him so much for being on. Thank you. And I appreciate you guys for being on. I look forward to engaging to our next guest, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Wednesday, we have Richard Trevino. I'll see you guys later.